Hey guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. Again, we're at Manhattan Reptile World. Like I said, we're going to be bringing you lots of videos from here now that we've kind of made it official. What we're going to do today is work with some more of our venomous species. As you'll notice, a lot of the venomous stuff stays here at the shop. You have seen the ones we do keep at home, but again, a lot of it's here just for safety purposes. With that, we're working with a native species to Kansas, which is a massasauga rattlesnake. I really think these guys are really neat looking. They got these really cute little small rattles. They're one of the smaller species of rattlesnake. I think they're the second smallest that there is, actually. So they're actually not a crotalus species being massasaugas. So we're going to show these guys to you. And what's happened is the guy that we got them from, because we end up getting a lot of rattlesnakes all at once to increase our collection for what we want to do in the future. And these three came with that. They've been housed together since he produced them. So we've kept them together because that's what he suggested, and that's what we've done so far. As they get bigger, we will eventually separate them out, but for now, they are being housed together. We are moving them today into a different cage because the cage they're in, they've just kind of outgrown a little bit, so we're going to move them to some bigger digs, and we moved one of our rattlesnakes, outgrew it, to one of the tubs, so everybody's kind of been moving around. So let's take a look at these guys if we can. Now, believe it or not, I know that water looks terrible. It's because this coconut fiber gets in there. And this cage would be due for cleaning, but instead we're just going to move and clean out for something different. We'd use a lot smaller hook on these guys, as you can see, because this is about the largest one. You can see how pretty they are. There's that cute little rattle. Their pattern is almost reminiscent of the king snakes in the area, so you do have to kind of watch what you're doing and what you're working with. The tail gives it away. I think the head pattern is also a little different. So if you know what you're looking for, you can spot them. But it's one of those things that if you're not sure what you're messing with in the wild, you probably shouldn't be messing with it. Just a good piece of advice. Here is another one. This one looks like it might be getting close to a shed. And you can see they're pretty well behaved on the hook. This is the smallest of the three. There he goes. We're going to put her over here. Okay, now that they're all in there, just like we did with the diamondback when we showed you it, or one of our big albinos, it's also feed day for these guys, so we are going to be offering them food. Again, we're going to be offering live feedings. That's what they've been on, that's what they do well on, so that's what we're going to do. So I caution you, if it's not something you want to see, please don't watch. I don't want anybody upset with me. You know, it's not like something that we overly enjoy doing, but these guys do have to eat to grow. We produce our own mice and our own rats. We produce them in conditions that we try to keep them extremely healthy. We care about them as well. But at the end of the day, the reason we produce those rodents is to keep our snakes healthy. That's what our passion is. So I want to caution you, if you don't want to see that, just simply don't watch. You know, we're not going to force you to, and we understand if it's not something you want to see. But if you do, we are going to put 3 mice in there. And again, we're going to use our feeding tool we use for venomous to make sure we get a good strike on them without the snakes getting injured, and then go from there. So, I've given you a chance to turn it off, so I don't want to hear any complaining if you're watching this about live feeding. The Chinese box is getting worn out. You can really see the prairie venom take effect pretty quick. I like to make sure each one gets a chance to bite, and that seems kind of strange, but there's a reason to it. I've read some things that with rattlesnakes, especially more with crotalus species than I've read on these guys, but it would stand to reason that it may go through with all of them, that once they've injected that venom into something, that does kind of cause them to feed. They can kind of track that. If you think about it, it makes sense, because when something's bit, it can still run off. It would be easy for the snake to lose that prey item, which then would kind of defeat the purpose. But that they have the ability to track their own venom. So once that venom is in something on a non-defensive bite, or even on a defensive bite that they can eat, they're more likely to go follow that prey item after they think it's expired and eat it, which is what our goal is. As a side note, even if we have something that gets bit and it doesn't get eaten and the next morning we find a prey item that died, we still don't waste it. We have things that are scavengers that'll eat things that are dead. So we'll take that then and feed it to those. And you're probably saying, well, wait a minute, doesn't it have venom in it? Isn't that going to kill your other animals? And the answer is no. The venom is because it's venom. It doesn't hurt you if it's ingested. It only hurts you if it's injected. It gets into your bloodstream or your muscle tissue somehow. So swallowing that venom in a prey item for like one of our alligators is not going to hurt the gator. But we don't like to waste anything. I absolutely abhor wasting a life. So if something dies, we find a use for it still, just because I can't stand to waste anything like that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Again, that is our massasauga rattlesnakes. I think they're just the coolest thing ever. They're like this cute little thing that is extremely dangerous. So that's kind of why I like them. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, and we'll catch you next week.